we are, another lovely day in the state of Arizona, and we got blessed today because just some of the ironies of our family and the people that we're affiliated with is just outrageous. So while the phone is ringing, because we do everything, it's an actuality show. This is the real deal. You're going to get it raw and uncut, and this is how it goes. Now, we have the pleasure of sitting with Miss Diane Wooten.
Hi!
Author
of A Vengeful Reflection, the story of Princess Elise.
Now, she has a lot of hats now, don't get it confused, but this is one of her many characteristics. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about the motivation, first of all, behind this story?
I can do that. My daughter, when she was 17, she had her own boutique called Royale Noir, and she wanted to have the story of her store like on the wall, like another store does. And I said, okay, well, let's work on that. So we had lunch, and we're sitting down, and we're going over what this Royale Noir means and what her store is going to mean. And the next week, she goes, you know what, I don't think I want to do that. I was like, excuse me, I'm on a roll. So I took her story of her store and made it this full-blown children's book. It's a YA book, young adults, for 7 to 12-year-olds. And it's very, there's a lot of mysticism. There are fleur-de-lis shaped tulips. There are, the waterfall, it's called a Faith Falls, and when the water hits the rocks, they explode in crystals. So there's a lot of mysticism and a lot of wonderful things that go on in the book. And Princess Elise has to deal with some vengeance that she has to get back on somebody that kills the one she loves. So that's what the story is about. She's a fashion designer, of course, and she puts on these elaborate fashion shows about all kinds of stuff and has these models flown in from all over the world, Italy and Milan, and it's really in-depth about what happens to her. The second book is finished, so I do know what happens at the end.
Ooh-wee.
And this book in its entirety is 62 pages, and the second book already is 107 pages, and that's without the epilogue and the table of contents and everything. I also did have the blessing of Angela Bassett. She writes her little note in here, you know, keep God first and family first, and it says Angela Bassett, actor, and that's from her. So I had her blessing. That was really cool. And the book just, it took on a, you know, the story just took on a mind of its own, if you will, and so it was a lot of fun to do. I did it in the airport. I wrote waiting for a limo, at the hotel, waiting in the lobby,
at breakfast. How long did it take to do the book?
This one took a couple of months because I knew what I wanted to do. Wow. And the second book, in its 107 pages, took 6 days.
That's pretty incredible. Okay, party people, because I'm writing a book and it's taking me a really long time.
Well, here's the thing. People ask me, you know, how can you write and you have all these distractions? People who usually write need to be in a room with a waterfall and candles and everything. It's a movie in my head.
Wow.
So I see the movie and I type what I see. I type 105 words per minute, so it gets done a little quicker than most.
Wow.
I send it to Washington State to be edited, professionally edited, and then it's self-published through Author House. The book is available through authorhouse.com, barnesandnoble.com, and amazon.com. And my next book signing is March 18th at LA Fashion Week. I will do a book signing before the Runway Fashion Show. And then the next one after that is Barnes & Noble Ahwatukee on March 26th, and then Barnes & Noble Tempe Marketplace in April. So pretty busy, lots of fun. And when I get stuck, I have a 5-year-old. She's my muse. Like the second book is finished, but I actually got stuck, and I said, oh my gosh, and my daughter was like, Mommy, what's wrong? I said, oh, you wouldn't understand. One of the characters in a book, he gets lost and I don't know how. She says, well, Mommy, he went through a portal to the other dimension. I was like, that's right, that's what he did. So she's my muse. I don't get stuck. Children have the most vivid imaginations that adults just don't tap into anymore. And so I can do anything. Fleur-de-lis shaped tulips. The grass in the second book is blue, not green. You can do all that stuff, especially when you have a kid. You just don't get stuck because you're like, okay, what would you do? Who would your bad guy be? You know, what would he look like, or what would that person sound like? And they have it right off the top of their heads, so I don't get stuck anymore.
Now, do we get the honor of meeting Princess Elise?
You do. Princess Elise is actually here. Come on over, Princess Elise.
Hello.
Hello. This is our lovely Princess Elise. And a lot happens to you in this book. I mean, it's pretty devastating. She loses the love of her life. She has to take vengeance on his death, and it's just a very complicated thing.
Well, one thing we know for sure is she doesn't die.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't die, that's for sure. She transforms, actually, and looks totally different after this. And she gets magical powers, and I'll tell you a secret. Her hair gets shorter, it turns red, and she can use the hair strands as poisonous darts.
So that wasn't because of Clairol, okay? That's
No,
great.
it wasn't. And so, yeah, so that's it.
Well, excellent. Well, I think that you got a little taste of what she's coming with. And of course, I'm not going to make her get into all of her hats because she has a few hats. Okay, but this is a good start. And we're going to always keep up with what she's got going on because she's a very busy person. We're going to keep up with the princess and what's going on in her life. And of course, all of you out there, tune in to Kid Power Network on a regular basis if you want to keep up with any of this kind of stuff.